What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Today we got some massive nerfs and buffs in today's Warzone Season 3 Reloaded update. So we're going to go over all of those right now to keep you guys informed and give you some loadouts here at the end that you can be running to start out Season 3 Reloaded until we come out with our official top 10 list later this week. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell, and hit that like button so you don't miss another video like this and you can always stay up to date on the current meta in Call of Duty Warzone. Let's get a quick word in from our sponsor and we'll get into it.
If you're not making money while playing Warzone, you're missing out. I'm even racking up while the game loads. With Z-League skill-based tournaments, me and my squad are winning tons of cash. The best part is we can play anytime we want, so we can compete anytime we're hopping on. Z-League also has a ton of addicting mini games that I can also play for cash, so I can even rack up while the game is loading, which we all know can take a while.
All right, so we got our Season 3 Reloaded update patch notes today. Then we got the new BAL 27 AR that's coming. I'm leveling it up right now as you're watching this, and we're working on the best loadout for that, so we'll get that to you here later this week. Got some new aftermarket parts coming for sure, but let's get into these weapon adjustments real quick. All right, so this BP50, we got increased hipfire spread, increased hipfire spread maximum, increased moving hipfire speed. So the hipfire got a nerf on this BP50. So for that BP50 SMG, I don't think that's going to affect it super much. So I'm BP50 SMG is 100% in the meta. I think top 3, 100%. We'll get you guys the loadout here in a little bit for that. Then the SVA 545, again with that hipfire nerf. I don't know really why, to be honest, but yeah, so that's going to be negligible. I wouldn't worry about that. Ram 7 got a pretty massive nerf again, so decreased down to 28 from 32 max damage. Near to mid damage range decreased to 26 down from 28. Near to mid damage range decreased to 39 meters down from 43. Mid damage range decreased to 49 down from 53. So I think this is 100% finally out of the at least top 5 of the meta. I think it'd probably still be usable. People will definitely still be using it, but I don't think it's in the meta anymore, thank goodness. But MTZ 556, same hipfire spread nerf here. Nothing, like, again, probably not anything crazy, so definitely still in the meta. MTZ 556, I think it's definitely top 3 still. Holger 556, same with the hipfire spread. I think this still, it lies within the top 5 of the meta when it comes to ARs for sure. MCW got a little bit of a buff again, so that's interesting too, because the MCW conversion kit did not get a nerf, so that is 100% still in the meta, especially close range, so keep that in mind. MCW mid damage increased to 24 up from 23. Mid damage increased to 20 up from 18. Minimum damage, that's going to be interesting. Max damage range increased to 30 up from 26, so that's a pretty nice little tweak there. The FR 5.56, I won't go over all of these, but this did receive a slight buff, so we'll give you guys a loadout for that here in a little bit if you guys feel like using it. I don't think it's going to be in a meta or any conversation or anything, but it'll be nice, kind of reworked to increase their appeal and overall viability, so that's kind of why they did that. M13B got a little bit of a buff to increase damage to 24 up from 23. Nothing crazy, but here's the kicker. So headshot modifier decreased, so that's a little bit of a nerf there, not by much, but a little bit, the headshot. But then the upper torso modifier increased to 1.2 up from 1.1, so they increased these arm and hand multipliers up by 0.1, and the arm and hand modifier increased to 1.2, so that's going to give it a little bit of a boost, especially at mid to closer ranges. That'll be interesting. This one's really cool too. The Tempest Razorback near to mid damage increased to 26 up from 22. That's a pretty massive buff right there. Tempest Razorback, that's very, very interesting. We'll give you guys the loadout here in a few for that. The FR Advancer, or the FFAR, got a pretty solid buff, up to 22 up from 20, up to 20 from 17, and up to 18 up from 16. That's pretty solid. SOA Subverter did get a minimum damage decrease to 25 down from a 28. I think that's going to affect it quite a bit. Max damage range decreased to 20 down from 22. So the MTZ 762 decreased aim down sight time to 260 milliseconds down from 280. So it's got a little bit of a like ADS buff, and the Jack Thunder LMG kit, which turns the MTZ 762 into an LMG, decreased the ADS time basically. So ADS buff there for that overall weapon. No damage buff or anything like that, so keep that in mind. SOA 14, full auto version of the SOA 14, decreased the sprint to fire time and decreased the aim down sight time. That's all that is there. HRM9 did receive a nerf today, pretty significant one too, so I think this one bumps it out contention, especially for the top 3. So we're gonna be that'll be interesting. HRM9 max damage decreased to 28 down from 31. Near mid damage decreased to 24 down from 28. Mid damage decreased to 22 down from 24. Max damage decreased to 10 millimeters down from 11.3. So I think that's going to bump it out of the meta. Unfortunately, it had its run, but we're done. Ram 9 increased horizontal recoil. So this kind of received another nerf, a little bit of a recoil nerf too. So that's interesting. Rival 9, max damage decreased to 26, up from 25. We'll give you guys a loadout for this too. Max damage range decreased to 12.19, down from 13. So it kind of got a balancing. Lower arm hand modifiers. We got 2 buffs there for the arm and hand, and torso modifiers. So that'll be interesting. WSP 9 only decreased the sprint to fire. Actually got a buff. WSP 9 decreased sprint to fire time to 66 milliseconds, down from 110. So this has the open bolt delay. So I'm wondering if they're doing the sprint to fire time to kind of hopefully negate that, but I don't think. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. The sprint to fire time decreased to 66 to 110, maybe to get rid of that open bolt delay. We'll see, but that's 100% meta, 100% top 3. I think the top 4 right now are real close together, and I'll show you. But the striker minimum damage increased to 28, up from 23. This got a massive buff, especially for the mid-range builds. That's going to be interesting. Striker, I think 100% is top 4 meta, top 5 meta for sure. Easily, it was already top 5 for me. Close to top 3. I just don't think it beats out the BP50 or the MCW SMG. I think it might beat out the WSP9. We'll check all that. I'll give you guys my official top 10 here this week later. KB broadside, jawbreaker, remove the aim down sight spread. So we'll see how that plays out. So that's that jawbreaker. It was pretty fun to use with just not enough ammo. Riveter, decreased aim down sight time. So a little bit of an ADS buff. DG58 LSW. LMG got a pretty interesting buff today. We'll see how that feels. It already has very little recoil anyway. So we'll see how that feels in game. Bruin MK9, my Bruin got a nerf today. Max damage decreased to 26, down from 28. Leg modifiers decreased, lower torso modifier decreased as well. So that probably knocks it out of for sure the top 3. So you're looking at attack evolver LMG meta for sure for long range. So that's locked in at number 1, I think, for long range right now. Attack eradicator decreased the sprint to fire time, which was my little issue with it, and by quite a bit too, almost 100. Decreased aim down sight time to 330, down from 340 but the sprint to fire time was my issue with it, and it took forever to kind of fire. So that'll be interesting. Attack eradicator, maybe top 3 LMGs now. We'll see. XRK Stalker, Cat AMR, and Moors all got a nerf, which is interesting. Moors, especially with the ADS nerf, not a major one, but probably enough to make a difference. Decreased bullet velocity on all of these. Interesting. So all the pistols seem to have got a movement speed buff as well, so that's interesting. WSP Stinger actually got a upper torso modifier increase. I've already heard that these are really pretty solid anyway, so I'm interested in trying these. We're gonna be trying those this week for sure. That'll be a lot of fun. And then these 9mm Damon pistols right here, the akimbo attachment got a pretty significant buff today. We'll see how those feel too. But yeah, so we'll get you guys these loadouts right now. Let's get into it. All right, so for this first set of loadouts, I'm going to give you the striker, and this is the movement striker that I've been using this past week, and the striker just got a massive buff, right? So this is going to be, I think, 100% in the top 3, top 4 meta. And then I've got an MCW longer range build that you can use if you want. It did receive a slight buff today, so that's just for you if you want to use those as well. So for the striker, we're going with the Zima 35 compensated muzzle, the striker stubby barrel, the DR6 hand stop underbarrel, no stock, and the 48 round mag. Then for this MCW, we're going with the Zima 35 compensated flash muzzle, the MCW Cyclone long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, and the 60 round drum, along with that jack glassless optic, or whatever sight makes you comfortable. Then we've got the DG58 LSW along with the BP50 SMG style. I wouldn't recommend running 2 ARs at a time, just strictly because of the ammo capacity. But if you are interested, you can run it like this, or just mix and match whatever I give you today. For that DG58 LSW, we're going with the Zima 35 compensated flash, the Woody long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, the jack glassless optic, and the recoil reduction butt plate stock. For this BP50 SMG, the Castus brake muzzle. I like the high grain rounds here, along with the Chimera Rye L33 laser light, and then the Trist IV grip tape, along with the Jack Ravenger kit, or Revenger kit. I just like Ravenger because, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy. Next, I'm giving you a loadout for this Rival 9 and the TAC Eradicator. The Rival 9, I'm running the Zimmon 35 compensated flash muzzle, the Rival 38E fire starter barrel, the DR6 hand stop under barrel, the 50 round drum or the 40 round drum if you're running solos or duos, and the NIDAR model sight here. Completely up to you here. Use whatever sight makes you comfortable. Then for this TAC Eradicator, I'm going with the Cassis Break L muzzle, the Conquer 70 long barrel, the Bruin Heavy support grip under barrel, the TAC Verde core stock, and it already comes with 75 rounds. You really don't need a mag on this unless you want to slow it down. And then go with the Jack glassless optic here. Then for the DG56 that did receive a buff today, we're going with the Cassis Break muzzle, DG56 barrel, the Chimera Rhine 03 vertical grip, the 60 round drum, and the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. Then for the Striker 9, we're going with the Zimmon 35 compensated flash muzzle, the DR6 hand stop under barrel, the 50 round drum, the Jag glassless optic, and the Lockman MK2 light stock. Now, this is just if you prefer the Striker 9 over the Striker, but I think I'm preferring the Striker right now for sure. Next, the FAMAS or the 5.56 did get a buff today. And then I've got your meta evolver. This is the TAC evolver that will be meta long range, probably until they nerf it again. We'll see if they even do, but that's when it's 100% long range meta. So for the FAMAS, we're going with the Zimmon 35 compensated flash, the 600 millimeter long bore barrel, the Chimera Rhine 03 vertical grip, 45 or 60 round mag, completely up to you, and the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope. Then for the TAC evolver, we're going with the Cassis Break L muzzle, the Eviction heavy long barrel, the Hound 9G grip. I like the Jag glassless optic here, and the Rampart heavy stock. And this already comes with 100 rounds. You don't need another round mag on it. Then we're going with the WSP9, which is 100% in the top 5, top 4 meta. Like I said, these top 4 close range meta loadouts are real close together. I think WSP9 for an SMG might be number 1 with the Striker being number 2, but it's going to be wild. And then I've got the Sidewinder. I think it makes a sneaky play for the meta this second half of the season, but we'll see. It only has 30 rounds, so it's very unforgiving, but it does hit hard. WSP9 is the Zimmon 35 compensated flash muzzle, DR6 hand stop under barrel, 50 round mag. I like the Marauder grip here, along with the no stock. And then for that Sidewinder, we're going with the Cassis Break L muzzle, the Tempest Predator precision barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip under barrel, 30 round drum, and the Jack glassless optic, whatever sight makes you comfortable here. Then for the FR Advancer and the Tempest Razorback that did receive a buff, we're going with the Cassis Break muzzle for the FR Advancer, the long bore barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip under barrel, the high grain rounds if you want. If you don't want the high grain rounds, use something that's going to decrease that recoil even more, which will probably be the SA Cation grip here. Pretty solid there. 60 round mag, and of course that Cation grip if you don't want to use the ammo on it. Then for the Tempest Razorback, we're going with the Cassis Break muzzle, the 18-inch TAC 2L barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip under barrel, the 60 round mag, and I'm running the Jag glassless optic here, but use whatever sight makes you comfortable. And then the MCW with the Jack Raven kit on it is going to be meta still for sure. So we're going with the Zimmon 35 flash muzzle, the MCW Cyclone long barrel, the Blackout high grain rounds, the 40 round mag, and of course that Jack Raven kit. This was already really fun to use anyway, but the Striker as an AR with the new buff 100% is one of the best sniper support weapons you can have right now, but it's pretty fun to run as an AR as well. So if you're interested in running 2 SMGs at a time, or you're wanting to run a SMG with that BP50 SMG where you have the AR ammo for that BP50, and then you wanted a little bit more of a mid-range build for your SMG, the Striker is really good. So we're going with the Zimmon 35 compensated muzzle, the Striker Elite long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip under barrel, 60 round drum, and I'm going with the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope, but you can run that Jag glassless optic as well. But I want to show you this in the firing range. This is a lot of fun to run. It just really doesn't move, and it hits really well at long range too, and you still have 28 bullets left after just 3 dummies here. Pretty solid. A lot of fun to run. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell so you don't miss another video like this or like any of these. We'll see you in the next one.